Hey guys, welcome to season 2 of Don't Quote Me with Renee Christina. Giovanni and I are back after 2 weeks. Giovanni, what have you been up to?
So I went to Atlanta and then I met Renee in Miami for Valentine's Day weekend.
Does that mean that I was your Valentine?
Did you get me anything?
Miami was a fucking vibe. We were only out there for
24
hours, but we did exactly what we said we were going to do and make all 24 hours count. Like even my sleep. Did you sleep well after you left me?
I did, but I hadn't slept in days. So like I just recovered, like after 7 days, I just recovered the last 3 days and I feel like I still got some sleep in me.
Yeah, no. I woke Giovanni up this morning because I'm like, we have to go shoot and you're still sleeping. You have to get up.
I've been asleep for the last 48 hours.
But Miami was amazing. We did free drinks at Giovanni's hotel, which free drinks are a really, really bad idea. Like Giovanni was like drinking a drink and she's like, this drink has too much ice in it. He was like, okay, so do you want me to fix it? She's like, no, just bring me another one. And they were just like bringing out, I think they were like vodka and cranberries, and we had like 5 of them before 7 o'clock.
And even before that, and before my flight, I was drinking.
I was drinking, definitely.
So
I was so fucking tired. My flight, I fell asleep before my flight even took off. And then we were in my hotel room, we were smoking, we were having a great time. And then Giovanni was like, my cab will be here in 3 minutes. And she fucking got up and just left. I didn't even know that she was going anywhere. She was like, oh, I'm leaving. And she just fucking left.
And I went back to my hotel and I took a shower and I was out.
Yeah, after you left, I showered. I made sure my bag was packed and I went to fucking sleep. And it was amazing sleep. But this week we are back with our Black History Month episode. I don't know if you guys can see my Black History shirt. I'm really excited to wear this shirt. It's from Forever 21 and I never go in that store because it gives me a fucking headache.
Because they will have like a really cute shirt and they will have like a taco on it. Like, I'm 24 years old. Why I want a taco on my shirt? I want a taco on my stomach.
Not even just the stuff that they sell, but the fact that when you go in the store, it's always fucking erratic. And then the fucking music is so loud. It's like they're screaming. And I can't take that. I can't take that. It gives me a really bad headache. So yes, this is our Black History Month episode. It's called I'm Black and I'm Proud.
Say it loud.
On this week's episode, we'll be discussing all things Black, our favorite aspects of our culture, all of the amazing people in history as well as today. And yeah, just how great it is to be Black as opposed to
anything else.
Colored.
So wait, did you see the Django?
I have a really funny Django story. I've never seen it, right? But I have this thing where if I read rumors and stuff online, I usually don't like search it. I'll just text my dad and tell him. So I have read something that said that the white guy who was in Django was like beating the black guy who was in Django in real life. And I texted my dad. He had like asked me if I seen it, and I was like, no, I'm boycotting it because they're beating that black man like he's still saying my
So no, when Black History Month comes, you know Black Twitter don't play. Like, so there's this scene in the Django where Jamie Foxx is a slave, but he's free. So he's like beating the white man, like beating him to like.
We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it.
So this past week, I watched Django for the first time, and if you know me, I fall asleep on everything.
Yeah.
But like I was like up and sleep for it, and I think that everybody should go watch Django or the Django, whatever.
Okay, so Django is your movie pick of the week. On movies that make you feel great about being Black.
Yes, it was. Although Shania cried.
Yeah, I cried at everything.
So you're gonna cry. It's very thought provoking, but it's not the regular slave movie where it's like, you're a slave. You like do whatever your master says. It's not the typical slave story. So I think that everybody should go watch it. I'm gonna go rewatch it because, like I said, I fall asleep all the time. But there was really pivotal scenes in the Django. So
okay, I have not seen it. Maybe I'll watch it. I'm not gonna make any promises because things make me cry.
Yeah, you're gonna cry.
I cry to Swan Child sometimes. So yeah.
Personally, I feel like Black culture needs to be copywritten. Like there needs to be an LLC for like Black culture because people always stealing our shit.
Giovanni, I have to stop you there. Okay, because usually you guys know we come up here and we agree on everything. I do not fully feel that. And I'm going to tell you why. So I have a hard time believing that things are like for a specific culture, because I find that like us, not us as in black people, us as in our generation of black people, we have adapted everything.
Yeah.
Like the little dogs and the Uggs is a white girl thing. But like we have one of those all the fucking time. I don't have a little dog, I'd rather a big dog. But like that was a look. The Juicy Couture sweatsuits and the bag with the, that's a Paris Hilton look. Yeah. And I feel like we've adapted that. I love some blonde hair, but black people have blonde hair, so that's not stuck to them. But I don't like when white people get braids.
So when I said copyright, I mean like
they can use it, but they have to say that it comes from us?
In a way, but I just feel like when we do stuff, it's like,
oh my God, that's so ghetto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the whole Saweetie aesthetic. Like people hate her because she is the ghetto black girl. She wants to wear big earrings. She wants to wear long acrylics. She wants to talk with her hands, snap her fingers, and it's like, now if homosexual guy who's not black does it, it's like
what's our least favorite anyway? The black guy, I mean the white guy who they said was fucking Kanye. What's his name? Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star and Sweetie have the same aesthetic.
Exactly. So it's like,
but everyone knows that it is the hardest thing in the world to be a black woman. We're not allowed to do anything. Everything you do, we're going to be judged as. White women do things and there's never an issue. Black women do it and it's a huge issue. Like plastic surgery. White women have been getting plastic surgery forever and nobody has ever said anything.
Or extensions.
And now I turn around and every time I turn around on Facebook or on Twitter, it's like, let's stop normalizing all of these girls getting these BBLs. And it's just like,
they've been doing it for centuries.
Like, they have fake lips. I can't get a new ass, but they can have fake lips.
But you can even think about it how Kylie Jenner and Sasha Obama are like the same age.
Okay, again.
And listen, wait, no, Kylie Jenner posts a lingerie or a bathing suit pic, and it's like, woo, Kylie. Sasha Obama make a TikTok, and they want to drag her.
But I also think that she is just put in a fucked up position because of who her dad is. Yeah. Who her dad is, who her mom is, we don't know. Fingers crossed, Michelle Obama may end up being our president one day. That would make me amazing. She totally has my vote. But she does not live in, she's not an ordinary black girl. She is not a rapper's daughter. Right. She's not a socialite. She is my forever first daughter. So, you know, they don't want to see her do it. But like, I saw that she had like, is it like a tattoo or she has her belly button pierced?
It was like, no, remember she wore that outfit and her like belly was out.
Yeah, but wasn't her belly button pierced? She had something. I seen that it was on TikTok, but like they made her take it down, and then like her friend had posted a TikTok that she was in, and they made her take it down. And I just think that, you know, she should be able to do what she wants, but you have to understand that like universally, you're always going to be judged harder.
Yeah.
Music. Do you have any white people that are invited to the cookout? No.
No.
Not a white person anywhere.
No.
There's not a white person song that you're just like, this could play around my black family.
Nobody. Nobody. Nobody.
Nobody is invited.
They don't invite us to their potluck. Every time if I say I like an Avril Lavigne song, if I know the words of girlfriend, I can't go to their potluck. No. Stop inviting white people to the cookout.
Okay, so Giovanni says no white seats at the cookout. That's fine. Food. I think that our culture just has, you know, the greatest food because we know that things go past. My video guy and I were just talking and he was telling me how he used to date this Greek girl and she thought that salt and pepper were the only seasonings. And he got her jerk chicken and she was like, what the fuck is this?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Even down to like, okay, so like if I don't want to ask my mom how to cook something just because like it's not gonna be, when you cook versus telling somebody how to cook, it's not the same.
Right.
So sometimes I will YouTube things.
Oh, I'm the queen of a recipe.
I YouTube everything like that I want to cook if I've never cooked it before. And I know this might sound bad, but like if the hands aren't black, I skip the video because I just don't have time for that. Like you're not gonna salt and pepper my chicken. And
no, usually what I do is that I'll watch their recipes, but I find that I have like universal seasonings for certain things. Like I season all of my chicken a certain way, all of my beef a certain way. So like you tell me how to prepare it and like I'm gonna obey and garlic powder because they just feel like, and then they take the salt and they put the salt in their hand. They be like,
what is that gonna do?
On
You know
your
what's
salt
crazy
base
though? You know what's crazy? I don't use salt in my food.
I don't use salt when I cook. I do use black pepper, but I use salt when I go to restaurants and the
Because
chef is Caucasian.
Yeah.
It always needs
So
salt and pepper.
I never use salt in my food just because the seasonings that I use usually have salt in it. But when I see them like salt and pepper it up, I'm just like.
And then it'd be the hand, or it'd be when you grind the pepper and it'd be like 1, 2. Like, man, that's a fucking steak. Where's the rest of the pepper? So I think that right now my favorite part of being black, everyone who knows me knows that like I take major pride in being black. Sometimes when I watch TV shows and like black people are given a better chance, I'm always very emotional because it sucks being black. But recently I find that we have found a communicative energy and we are rallying together, and I could not be more proud of that. Giovanni and I came up with some black people in history that we are going to shout out. You want to start?
Yeah, of course. I'll start. I'm gonna start with history. I'm gonna start with Patricia Bath. So Patricia Bath was the first African American woman to complete her residency in ophthalmology. I picked this because you're blind. I did. I picked this because you're blind. And she created the program, and she co-founded the American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness.
Wow.
So all of you people out there that see, with glasses,
Yeah,
or maybe.
so I am blind. I know you guys are probably like, what do they mean she's blind? I have contacts in, so I literally can't see. If I took the contact out, I couldn't even walk to the camera. I literally can't see. I can't get up in the middle of the night.
So you gotta thank Ms. Bad.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bad. I want to do Rudy Bridges. You should all know who Rudy Bridges is. But if for some reason your elementary school didn't give a fuck about Black History Month because all of your teachers were white and they didn't teach you, Rudy Bridges it says, at the tender age of 6, Rudy Bridges advanced to the cause of the civil rights movement in November 1960 when she became the first African-American student to integrate an elementary school in the South. So the year that Rudy was born was the year that Brown versus Board was signed. And
Yes.
for those who don't know, it says that we get to go to school with white people. I must also say, I don't really, we're gonna save that for a minute. As soon as I do this, we're gonna bounce around a lot in this episode, but Giovanni and I are gonna give you our opinions on integration. So, yes. So she was the first African-American child. It was her and 6 other children who had to take a test, and they passed the test, so they were allowed to go to schools. And her mom had to be escorted to school by federal marshals because as white people get, they was whitening it up, screaming, yelling. And Rudy says that she was never scared except for one day when she seen a white woman sitting outside of her school and she had a little black doll in the closet. Because that is the type of thing that a white adult does to a child who is fucking 6 because people are sick. Now, my views on integration are a little, shaky. So, I'm happy that we can go there, but I don't want to go there. Like, I went to a school, my elementary school, I had like Italian teachers, but like we didn't have any white teachers. Like I had Sicilian teachers. And I know if you guys are listening and paying attention on episode 2, we said that Sicilians are the black of the Italians. So I had like Sicilian teachers, but for the most part, all of my teachers were black. Then when I went to middle school, all of my teachers were white. Most of my teachers were white, but they were the pro-black white people. And then all of the people in my school were black. So for literally until I got to college and I went to CSI, for those who don't know, Staten Island is majority Italian and Mexican, and they are not the Sicilians, so they are not the black Italians. And Italians do not like black people. So very, very, very racist. But so you have to think about the fact that from birth to 18, racism was something that was like in my textbooks, maybe on Twitter, but like, I'm like, it didn't exist because I didn't really know any white people. And I always think back on like the blocks that I lived on and just places that I lived. And I was just like, I really didn't interact with white people a lot coming up. And then since I have 0 out of 10 would not recommend. I'm all for us having the ability to like, we can go wherever we want, but like, I don't really see the need
You're not pressed. I'm not pressed.
Yeah, like I don't see the need. Like my kids don't need to go to the white school. I wouldn't send my kids to the white school. So happy that Rudy Bridges was able to go where
Yeah.
she wanted, and that she made it so that we had the option of graduating from white colleges. But unless you take imagine what the African American studies courses are at Princeton.
Yeah. Okay, so I think she's very important because the reason why they wanted her to go to those schools is because they just had better opportunities, better
Right,
roads,
but
better-
now things are changed.
yeah. So
So you can still get the education that you deserve around people who look like you, where your school lunches. I never ate lunch in school. Was elementary school lunch season? Like, is it universal?
Yeah.
Okay, because the lunch ladies definitely were black. I remember that.
So the next person I'm gonna pick is, it's not for me, but like it's for me. So Esteem Davis is the first black woman to own and operate a barbershop. And it's just like, if guys couldn't get haircuts, I don't know what I would do. So yeah, thank you,
That is a good one.
Miss Davis, for that.
Miss Davis. So on this past Thursday, a black activist who is also a single mom, her name is Marquita Bradshaw. She won the Democratic Party to be get the.
Get it.
Why am I stuttering? What the- Black activist and single mom Marquita Bradshaw won the Democratic Party for an open U.S. Senate seat in Tennessee on Thursday. So she is the first black woman to get a seat on the Senate in Tennessee, and she's a single mom. So she gotta, come home and cook actual food for her black children and help them run Tennessee. So we love to see it.
Oh, I gotta find his name. Who helped Gorilla Glue Girl? Get the Gorilla Glue out her hair. Him.
We don't know his name, but shout out to the surgeon who came forward and took that Gorilla Glue out that girl's hair. Because that first video when she was fucking kid, she was like,
She couldn't move. But I feel like I could have helped her.
she was fucking dead. I would have just shaved her head.
But even if you would have shaved her head,
Yeah.
there's still
Okay, can we
issues.
this is totally unrelated, but do you really think that she put Gorilla Glue on her hair?
Yes.
No, I don't think that's what it was. Because I seen a video of someone on YouTube spraying Gorilla Glue in their hair, and it didn't do that.
No, but she sprayed it and probably let me tell
She
you
sprayed
something.
like she was doing a ponytail, like she
I was about
sprayed
to
it,
say
blow
that.
dried it, sprayed it,
If you
blow
ever
dried it.
got a ponytail, they
I've never gotten a
spray
ponytail.
your pieces of hair piece by piece. So I just imagine her hair was slick. Her hair was slick. So I definitely Gorilla Glue needs to make like a product.
And then I don't know if she said this or my sister was listening to some podcast, and they basically said she had mistook it for Gorilla Snot. I said Gorilla Snot don't make a spray, they make a gel.
She literally said she did it on purpose. Like it was her fault. She came out because people were asking her
So then why do we feel bad for her? Because
we don't.
when I make stupid decisions, no one ever is like, oh my God, Renee, I can't believe your stupid decision led you to such anger.
Yes,
Such
so we don't
pain.
necessarily I want her to get as much money off this as possible.
I cannot believe people are doing. No, you know what it really is. So Giovanni is more of those. I'm happy for everyone. I'm trying to get a blue check on Instagram. Okay,
Yeah,
let's just
she
put it
doesn't-
out there.
that wasn't
I'm
fair.
sitting here right now with you guys because I feel like I deserve a blue check. I create content. I'm fucking hilarious. I get up and do my makeup every time you guys have to see me. I deserve a blue check. How the fuck did she get a blue check for being dumb? Why are you following her? She's not gonna do it again. But I'm gonna stay with content. She's a one-hit wonder, and I'm here for life. Instagram, give me a blue check. I heard you can buy a blue check.
Yeah, you can buy.
It's not the same. It's not the same. I want to wake up one day and Instagram be like,
There you go.
"You the shit, shorty. Here you go." Before we move on to Saturday, we're gonna give two people shout outs for now. You can do yours.
Marcia Martin. I wish it was my little sister because we'd have a blast and she's super smart.
I follow her on TikTok. She's
Right.
very funny.
So I think
She does the dance as well.
There's also one other girl, but I'm gonna say Marcia Martin because she's super young. She's black. She started off as black and blackish, and she was the awkward.
Yeah, she was Diane. She was
She's
one of the
Diane.
twins. She was Zoe's
Little sister.
Little sister.
Super awkward, but super smart.
Very, very smart.
Super smart. And I always like resonated with her because I feel like growing up, I was the awkward black girl.
Are you the awkward black girl?
Yes. I was the awkward black girl growing up. Like, that's why I love Issa Rae so much.
I'm up. We gonna give Issa a shout out.
That was next to me. So yeah, she's only 16. And then I don't know if you guys saw the movie Little.
But when she was the executive producer on that, she was actually 14, which makes her the youngest executive producer for a movie that did so well.
So yeah, and I really liked Little. I think I watched it when I was at a really rough space in my life. I think everyone should watch Little.
Okay, I'll watch it. I won't watch her first movie. Look at her coming through with all the recommendations.
I think y'all should watch Little because
I will not watch the first movie, but I will watch Little maybe even today.
Yeah, no, it was okay.
What's it about?
Okay, growth. It's about like I don't
Is
know.
Little the movie where she starts out as Taraji P. Henson and then ends up a little person?
Yes.
That movie was so good.
And it was funny.
Very.
And Issa Rae's movie, I watched it also. Oh my God, I'm just going movie crazy. I watched Issa Rae's movie when she was in a relationship with like the Indian guy.
That movie was so
Hilarious.
good.
Hilarious.
Especially because in the beginning they were like on the outs. Like I was just like, oh my God, they're not gonna make it. But true love conquers all. Giovanni is not a hopeless romantic as I am. But I was watching
But it was funny though.
It was very funny. When that guy was just like, chase him, I'm a cop. I was saying like, that ain't not a motherfucking cop. And even if that was a cop, in honor of Black History Month and all that they have done to us, if a cop run up to me and tell me that the person in the car in front of me they need to get, that man better catch the bus.
That don't have nothing to do with me. I got somewhere to go.
Unless that motherfucker pull his bags out when he walking up to my car, I'm not even gonna stop my car. So yes, definitely Issa Rae because I am just obsessed with her. I seen on Twitter earlier that some boy had tweeted and he was like, told my friend that I used to date Issa Rae and he didn't believe me. I sent him his picture and he blocked me. And then she retweeted it like,
he sound like a hater. Miss you.
I'm like, girl, you do not know him, but shout out to you for being a real one. I like Issa Rae. I love her and everything she's doing. And I don't know if you know,
she has a project coming out with City Girls.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so Issa Rae is definitely up there.
The next person is Nicholas Johnson. He is the Princeton's first Black valedictorian in all 275 years of the school. So shout out to Rudy Bridges for putting him in the place so that he can fucking show them that I don't give a fuck how long and how many ancestors of yours have gone here. I am the smartest person in this fucking campus. And then the thing is, so the school started with a board of 7 people. And all 7 of them were slave owners. So the 7 founding fathers of Princeton were all slave owners. And now, in 2020, well, the last graduating class, the valedictorian was a Black guy. I'm not sure where he's coming from. His name is Nicholas Johnson, and shout out to him.
Definitely.
Are we ready to move on to the sadder part?
Yes.
Okay, guys.
So, Black Lives Matter.
Okay, so this is going to be the sad part. As you guys know, the fucking cops hate us. We're gonna try and lighten it up because I cry all the time and my face isn't set well. So, for those who live under a rock and don't know, the Black Lives Matter movement is something that you're probably like, Black Lives Matter? Why do everyone's lives matter? No. Because the thing is, previously, all lives mattered and they didn't include us. So now we have had to make it so that you know that these are the lives that I'm talking about. Because previously when they say all lives matter, they're talking about all lives that aren't brown.
Right.
Or all lives that aren't other. All lives that aren't yellow, that aren't
straight,
orange, all lives that aren't straight. All of the others.
Yeah.
So, and I always think it's really weird when people get upset about the whole Black Lives Matter movement because no one's upset about the LGBTQ. They've literally said, this is our separate world. And they get all of the, listen, if you are a white gay man in America, you're at the top of the food chain. So no matter how hard you're like, oh my God, but we could be attacked. Most people who are victims of gay hate crimes are Black men. They are not white men. No one walks up to a gay white man and punches him in the face. No one walks up to white men and punches them in the face because white men are always seen at the top. So the Black Lives Matter movement is how our community has taken a voice and said, enough is enough. We are at the top of our food chain. We are what's most important to us, and we are going to stand united. It has been a while since we did that. I find that Black people we're scattered. We never have
We've
the
been
same
scattered
goals.
for a while.
But you know what it was previously? We weren't all in the same place, and things just weren't as bad where we needed to stand together. Things are bad now because at one point it was just like, oh, okay, your black son could get killed by the cops, but like your black mom could get killed by the cops during a fucking traffic stop. Speaking of traffic stops, go ahead.
Ooh, before we get to that,
Okay.
I had something to say.
While you're thinking what you say, lean forward, lean over. Do you see the sign across the street that says Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
Because Black Lives Matter.
I think that there was a point in my life. So before mid-COVID, when the rallies and everything started over, like when we see so much of everybody's protesting and whatever, I used to say to my grandmother, like, I'm not my ancestors. I used to say it all the time, and I never used to think about like
what exactly it meant until they had that the protest that was in fucking Brooklyn. I was really, really, really impressed with us. But we are not our ancestors.
But at the same time, we can't downplay what they did. What they have done. So I am not my ancestors. I want to say I still say that, but I say it in a more way like I'm educated. Like my ancestors weren't as educated as I am.
But they've paved the way for us to be able to we can be as reckless and as violent in our movement because they marched quietly when they needed to march quietly.
So that's what I wanted to get out, that we can't say I am not my ancestors and not realize what they have done is the reason why we feel like I can't be a slave. I say that all the time. Like
I wouldn't have lasted as a slave.
I wouldn't have lasted a day.
I wouldn't have lasted as a slave.
So,
speaking of our ancestors, I always laugh because my grandmother, she remembers when like schools were integrated.
My grandmother tells me stories about picking cotton, and I'm just like,
my grandmother's always telling me like, oh, you know, I remember when the bathrooms and stuff were separated, and I was just like, white people are fucking nasty. I wish the bathrooms were separated. I don't want to use. I don't sit my ass on toilets, but like I would never sit my ass on a toilet that a white person sat her ass on first.
My grandmother even told me that she couldn't go to Dairy Queen.
Because they were racist?
Yeah.
My grandmother has a story about how her and my aunt were playing with these white girls that went to their school. This was when they had like first moved to, I believe it was Queens. And they were singing The Ring Around the Rosies. But like at some point, the song says like, pick a nigger or something like that.
Yes.
And my grandmother said that she came home and my aunt practiced it the whole way home saying it's in it for them. And she was just like, you can't hang out with those people. Don't play with them.
And don't sing that.
Yeah, like that song is not. But then I had found out that picnics were, so it's not a potluck. We have cookouts, they have picnics. Picnics originate because they would invite all of their family around and they cook all this food and they hang us from trees.
Just pick which one. So,
history. Before we move on to the Black Lives Matter, I want to talk to I didn't say hey Siri, I said history. The Birmingham Children's Crusade of 1963. So, I think that we were taught, our teachers pretty much
gave us the watered down version.
Yeah, like they weren't really interested in like scaring us but because we're so young, but it's necessary. My kids are going to know the scary part of the history because you walk around and you say things like we say, like, I'm not my fucking ancestor. You're just like, so in 1963, there was a march. I've seen these pictures from the march. You guys have seen the pictures from the march. There's dogs, they're attacking people, they're spraying people with water. So I don't know who told me this was Martin Luther King, but in my whole life, I'm like, this is Martin Luther King. But then we came to find out that it wasn't, that it was a group of children. I want to get the proper ages.
And understand that 1963 was not that long ago. My mother was born almost less than 10 years after that. So, damn, I shouldn't be talking about business, right?
Okay, so between the ages of 9 and 17, and they were all arrested. All arrested. It says here that 17 people between the ages of 9 and 13 were killed. That four little girls were in September later on that year. This isn't when they did the war, but 4 little girls were killed by bombs that white supremacists planted. Okay. So yeah, we have come very, 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 very far, and I'm so proud of the progress that we have made. But in the same sense that we've made all of this progress, we're not really
We're nowhere near there.
close. We're not
Yeah.
even close. We're not even close. So we want to discuss the Black Lives Matter movement. Do you want to start with your girl, your bestie?
Oh, actually, I wanted to start with Breonna Taylor.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, Breonna Taylor was she was in the medical field. Was she like I think she was an EMT. I'm not actually sure, but she was.
Breonna Taylor was a black medical worker. It doesn't
Yeah,
say.
so I think she was into EMT or whatever the case was, and she was in her home with her boyfriend. And when they thought someone was breaking in, they, we have the right to bear arms. So he shot first, or they shot first, whatever the case is. Somehow, it was the police, and they killed Breonna Taylor. So no one wants to take accountability for the fact that she's dead. They want to blame the boyfriend because he, was protecting
His home.
What is supposed
Because
to
you
be his
came
home.
into you broke into my home, and I defended myself.
Right.
When someone, if you're sitting in your fucking bed and you're next to your Caucasian wife with your badge on the fucking dresser, and you hear someone breaking into your house, is your first thing not going to be to grab your? I just think that it's really ridiculous how they are allowed to be afraid, because historically that was their thing. Black people are aggressive. They are afraid of us. White people are fucking aggressive.
And I'm afraid of them.
I swear to God.
Like,
No,
in
seriously,
many
white people are
aspects.
fucking aggressive. And at one point it was just like, okay, well, you're just like afraid of the cops because they have a gun. But it's just like, no. White people are aggressive universally. If every time I open my Instagram, there is a video of a Karen. For those who don't know, Karen are racist white women. In a fucking store, screaming, hysterically, being overly aggressive. They call cops on black people for doing absolutely nothing. It just is. How am I the thug?
Right.
How am I the thug? White people shoot up fucking elementary schools. Black people don't do that. Black people never target children. White people rape children. They fucking kidnap children. Black people don't kidnap people. Black people kill other black people. Sounds bad, but that is usually, like, I'm sure that is what our highest committed crime is. White people do everything. They kill each other. They kill kids. They eat each other. Black people don't eat people. I don't really like white people about it, so.
So in efforts to do what he believed was protecting his home and protecting his woman, she was still murdered. And there's a fight over are the cops guilty, or were they just doing their job? The man is guilty, and then there's 1,000 things that they are pulling out of the woodworks, like, oh, he sold drugs, or she was involved, and it's still like, regardless of what the issue was,
you should not. As part of doing your job is, let's say she was selling drugs and he was selling drugs and they were criminals. Are you good at your job or not? Because if you're good at your job, you should be able to come in this home, take these two black people out of their home, and take them down for an investigation or whatever it is. I just feel like we never even get, like, in the beginning, the issue was like, oh, well, once I get to court, the odds are always going to be against us. But it's like, I'm just hoping for fucking court at this point, because you never know if you're even going to make it out of the fucking,
if we're even going to get that far.
Right.
So, the whole movement that, I feel like Breonna Taylor was one of the people that sparked the movements across the states. Like when people started protesting in Brooklyn, or,
and it's not to go to say that like her death meant more. It's just, everyone has their breaking point.
Yeah, it was.
And it's just like, how fucking often
and it's mid-COVID where everybody's home, they're on Twitter, they're on the internet, they're watching everything.
How you gonna come in my house? I shot you because you brought in COVID with you.
It's like, so.
I'm gonna use Oscar grants because I'll give you a 2 for 2. So the first thing is going to be the movie Fruitful Station. So the movie Fruitful Station is probably the saddest movie I've seen.
Yeah, you can only watch that once.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a serial killer or something.
Or white. I'm sure white people watch it all the time.
But I only was able to get through that movie once.
And I'm lying. I got through it twice. The first time I watched it in theaters and couldn't stay for the whole movie and ended up like leaving because I was so upset. And then I was just like, I need to see how it ends. Even though I know it ends with him dead. But like I need to see how it ends. And I really did not need to see how it ends because it didn't end any better than it started.
Right.
So it was New Year's Eve and he was out with his girlfriend. They were in Oakland, California. There was an issue on the train and he was handcuffed and on the floor and then shot.
Yeah.
Ass nigga. Huh? Hey, oh, fuck yeah, man. Hey, man, what the fuck? Ain't do shit.
Super fucking sad. The movie, I'm sure that the movie is a 10 on my sad scale, a 10 out of 10.
And
then
only imagine how it happened.
Imagine standing on the fucking platform when it
Yeah.
happened. Really, really sad. He had children. Him and his girlfriend had been together for years. Never, even if he had no kids and he had no
Nothing
girlfriend,
to live for.
he still
didn't deserve it.
So yeah, watch the movie. Oscar is one of our people.
Another movie that I watched, I can't remember if it was a movie or if it was a short series. It was with Khalif Browder.
That's the boy who they said stole that book bag and put him
Yes,
in jail
so
for 16 years and then he killed himself.
Yeah, so it wasn't even that long, but they accused him of stealing a backpack. They sent him to Rikers, but they had him in solitary for so long that when he got out, he killed himself. And turns out he didn't steal the fucking backpack. And to me, it's like, it's just, even if he
stole the book bag, what the fuck was in the book bag that he deserved to be in jail?
And he was a child.
Right, that he deserved to be in jail for that long. But you guys know that the criminal justice system is not at all
set up
geared
for us
to even help us. Like, I know it always sounds bad, but I always tell people to go on the run. You don't want to turn yourself in because it never ends well.
Yeah.
It never ends well. I have friends who are in jail who have been in jail and they're always treated so poorly. And the other day I was having a conversation with my brothers and we were saying how one of my brothers, when he came home, that he just looked like
dazed.
Yeah, like a total. He was just like, you don't understand
zombies.
what the fuck jail does to you. Like,
Yeah.
it's you fighting for your life. And then it's like you already fight. Because at least when you're fighting for your life out here, you got places to hide. For the most part, the police are our number one enemy. And then you are fighting for your life in his home. How do you win when that's how things are? We did Breonna Taylor. Did we do Sandra Bland?
No. Sandra Bland scared the living shit out of me.
Me.
Because
my license was suspended when she got killed. I have to put that out. And my parents were like, you have to stop fucking around. Like, you are in this car with no fucking license, driving around at the time I drove a black 3 Series, a BMW. So it's a drug dealer's car, I guess. My windows were tinted very dark. I had no hair at the time. So I look like a boy. I got on a fucking hat. I always am dressed like a boy. And I'm in this car smoking my weed, playing my very loud ghetto music. My father was like, I'm afraid. Like, you have to pull back. So Sandra Bland, apparently they said that she did not signal.
Yeah.
So now,
and she was. I think she was going to visit some family, and they said she did not signal, but she was very big on like just being a black woman. So
right,
she
like,
was recording the whole time.
And in the video, it was very calm in the beginning, and it escalated once he asked her to put out the cigarette. My thing is, there are always going to be, everyone says that there are 2 different types of people when you meet with a cop. I feel like there are 3 people, and the third person always gets lost. They either group you with the ones who are super, super compliant or the ones who are super, super rude. When actually, I'm not doing either. I just know my motherfucking rights.
Right.
You're not gonna tell me to put my cigarette out in my fucking car. You pulled me over because you said that I didn't signal. Okay, give me my fucking ticket.
So I can go.
So I can go. No, I'm not putting my cigarette out because one, I'm not smoking something that's illegal, and two, I'm in my fucking car. I would have slipped my paperwork through the fucking window and then rolled the window back up. What do I need to get out of the car for? I'm not doing anything illegal. You're saying that, and depending, I don't know how it is in Texas, but in New York, if it's a turning lane, you do not have to signal to turn in a turning lane because the lane is to turn.
But I don't
She
know
was on
if
like a highway or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
I don't know if you guys have interacted with state troopers.
You don't want to.
But
if
when
you have not.
I think of a racist white man,
He has on a big Yogi Bear hat.
he's a fucking state trooper.
He has on a green uniform and he has on boots.
And he's loud and angry.
And he's
like,
smoking a cigarette.
So it was definitely like, I don't know, like I said, depending on, I've had to drive between New York City and like anywhere upstate, and all the interactions I've had or that I've witnessed with state troopers, they are like racist.
So the thing that I can say about that is that I try my best never to be one-sided, and I try my best to give
Everybody a
honest
chance.
opinion.
No,
So
definitely.
my family, my dad moved up. We've lived in Brooklyn forever. My dad moved upstate New York now, so state troopers are what we interact with, and the nicest motherfucking
Really?
cops.
No.
But you have to get to the town so I live in a town that's called like Ellensville. You have to get in my town to meet the really nice cops. If you get stopped by a state trooper in Jersey, you might as well just tell him to arrest you because he's gonna arrest you every time.
Right.
Like, I remember I got pulled over by a state trooper. My stepsister was driving. My boyfriend was in the car. I was sitting in the back seat, and they were just like, "Where are you going?" It was very late because there's always bad traffic on Friday. So if I miss that like opening, I'll leave super, super late because then there's nothing but the trucks on. It was like, "Where are you guys going?" And we're like, "Home." He was like, "Where are you guys coming from?" And we're like, "Our grandmother's house." And he was just like, "Well, where does your grandmother live?" And I'm like, "Mister, outside of your jurisdiction." She lives in the Bronx, and it was just like he made us get out of the car, and then I think my boyfriend's best friend might have been in the car at one time, and he had said that it was too many of us, so we made him uncomfortable, so he had to put everyone in handcuffs. No, you're not being arrested, but I'm
outnumbered, so
you're outnumbered because you pulled us all out of the car. Pull one person out of the car, the driver. You don't even need to pull her out of the car. At the time, my stepsister's license was great. My her license is still great, but all my paper, it was my car. Like everything was good for the car. You're saying that so my headlight was out. That was what the issue was. But then what it ended up being was that my glove compartment, we had put all of our weed in it, and then I'm lying, there was no weed in it, but I had locked it and I had a fog. I left the key part upstate. So I couldn't open. Y'all know he made me break my glove compartment, right? Like pry it open and break it so that he could see that there was nothing fucking in there but papers. So yes, you do not want to come in contact with a state trooper.
Right. And then I was
gonna say, she was not killed at the traffic stop. No. That is where the issue comes in. The issue is that we seen her arrested and she was fine. And then, that is not where the issue comes. The issue comes because white people are animals and inhumane. Because I forgot the fact that they took her fucking mugshot with her already dead.
She was dead.
She was already dead in her mugshot.
Yeah.
And it's just like, do you know how sick you have to be like, oh, well, let me try and fake that this woman is alive and fucking open her eyes. She literally, first of all, you can tell in the picture that she's laying down. Yep. The way the gravity was taken, she had dreads, I think, right? Mm-hmm. The way that the gravity was holding her hair, her face she looks dead.
I don't know if y'all ever seen somebody dead, but I have. And I'm not talking about like casket dead. I'm talking about like
you just died dead.
Like I've seen at a young age. I was on 125th Street and I saw like a crackhead OD. And I've seen like a couple of dead bodies in my life, and it's like.
So when you see her picture, you knew she was dead.
I'm like, this girl is dead.
That's really fucking.
But
sad.
yeah, she was only 28, and it was. The stop wasn't routine. Like he was like threatening to yank her out the car.
Yeah, because he says like she said that I'm in my car. Why do I have to put on my cigarette? And she said that he said he took his stunt gun out at first. He aimed it at her and then said, "I will light you up." And it's like, is it because I didn't signal that I'm going into the right lane and I won't put my cigarette out? But that's really what it's just like. They group us together so much because I don't know. I'm black, so I can say it. Some of us look like thugs. Some of us look like the type of person where you're like, okay, maybe I'm a little. If you've seen the pictures of this like woman, she does not look like the type of person that you have to pull out of her fucking car for a ticket. Give her the fucking ticket and send her on her way. And I feel like the biggest issue comes when, before we say what the biggest issue is, who was the last person? Is that everybody?
George Floyd.
George Floyd is the last person. You want to do him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they said that he was sitting in front of a corner store and he apparently brought a pack of cigarettes with a counterfeit $20 bill.
20 funky ass dollars.
You mean to tell me you called the cops over a fake $20 bill? I will not get up here and incriminate myself, but the $20 bill is nothing. Are you crazy? Niggas will come into your store with $1,000 in counterfeit $1 bills.
And you're worried about
a $20 bill?
My issue is that, let's say his $20 was fake. And let's say his name was, I don't know, Matthew Schofield. Would it have been handled the same?
No, it wouldn't have. They never deal with them the way that they deal with us. And my biggest issue comes in, because we're gonna wrap up the Black Lives Matter part of the thing. My biggest issue comes in the fact that they're never held responsible. And they love to get on Twitter and all of their forums and say like, there are good cops. Don't group us with the bad cops. So then why are you grouping me with the thugs? How do I look like a thug when him and I are not even dressed alike? And you guys all have on the exact same outfit. You're dressed like a fucking gang, but you got the gun out. You have it on top of, I never understand when they're afraid, because your gun is in a holster. Your gun is registered. If you shoot me, nothing is gonna happen. You're gonna lose. You may not even lose a week's worth of fucking pay. If I even pull my gun out and I hit you in the face with the gun, I'm gonna go to jail forever. And when I get in jail, the COs are gonna beat the shit out of me relentlessly until I can come home. If I ever come home. And they're going to throw the fucking book at me because you've assaulted an officer and it's punishable by 50 years to life or whatever the fuck it is. And for those people who are out here, if we have any viewers who are cops, that's on you guys. You guys have chose. I'm a teacher, you're a cop. Maybe you hate teachers. I hate cops. I think that the reason that it makes it so hard to even be like, oh, well, there are good cops is because when do the good cops come out and say something? They never come out and say that's a bad cop. They just like, oh, well, I'm a good cop. If you really are a good cop, tell him he's a bad cop. Tell him he's a bad cop when he's being a bad cop. I don't know if you've ever seen the video, but there's a video of a traffic stop in 125th Street. And the officer gets like handsy with the person is stopping, and another officer gets out and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is a good cop. I wish I knew his name.
Yeah, that's how
you are a good. But no, seriously, you have to, the same way that like if Giovanni does something fucked up, it's my responsibility as someone in her life to tell her that she's fucked up. And they never do that. Their sergeants don't do it.
And if you're complacent and if you just turn a blind eye, you're just as bad.
No, seriously. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this poem, but when I was in elementary school, maybe it's called When They Come. So it's like, it starts off when it's like, when they came to the Jews, I didn't say anything because I'm not Jewish. When they came to the Italians, I didn't say anything because I'm Italian. When they came for the blacks, there was no one to speak for me because that's it. That is how I feel when it comes to cops. Like, you want us to say like, oh, well, when I walk down the street with my family, I don't want to be attacked by a civilian because I'm a cop. But you're not stopping the civilian walking with his family from being attacked by the cops. Right. Like, you're not doing your job. Your only job is your job is to police universally. Police the police officers. Police the COs. Police anyone in law enforcement. Police anyone that has a registered fucking gun. Right. Because we would not be complaining if the cops were punching us in the face. Because we are not our ancestors, and if a cop punches me in my face, I'm going to punch it back. I'm going to do whatever time it is that I'm going to get for punching him in the face. But he has a gun. He has a gun, he has a stun gun, he has a baton, and he has all of his brothers in blue who are going to rally against him and beat the shit out of me because I fucking turned on Rogers and you can't turn on Rogers. It's out of fucking hand. It's out of hand. I want to give you guys a number. How many people? Give me a year. What year do you want to start?
2018. Because 2018 is such a big year in my life.
No, let's do 2016 because that was the year that she was killed.
Oh, wow.
2016 to 2021.
If you don't stand for anything, you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. That's the line, right?
Yes,
That's the line, right? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I was getting confused with the line that they say on the train. What they say on the train? If you see something, say something.
Okay, so in 2017, 457 people in 2018, 399 people in 2019, 370 people in 2020, 432. 2021, 14 so far. It is February 20th. And they're never talking about it. The only people that talk about it is Black Twitter. And Black Twitter, we love you. Because Black Twitter will not let
anybody forget anything.
If a fucking white person speaks to you bad in a Kohl's in Oklahoma, please tell Twitter. they gonna find
We'll know here in Brooklyn. We gonna know.
Oh yeah, because Giovanni and I'm gonna look for where they work. I'm gonna find out what company they work for. Find their
Twitter.
Yeah,
when people that's my guilty pleasure. When people post these people's personal lives, I call it jobs. I send emails to their jobs.
You are employing a fucking thug.
Exactly.
It's a thug. And I never, in the beginning, I was just like, oh, the white people, the Caucasians, the Karens. I only call them thugs. You must call them what they are.
Because they are.
This is totally unrelated. But that white boy who shot up that elementary school, as you guys know, I got a soft spot for elementary schools. The elementary school that he used to go to, I went to PS 93. I would never. Who the fuck shoots kindergartners? And they was like, oh yeah, some black people, we are never allowed to have mental issues. It's always like, they on drugs, he's an alcoholic. But the white people, because when black people were doing drugs, addiction was never a mental illness. It was like, oh, she's on crack because she wants to be on crack. As soon as these white people started taking opioids, and it's like, oh my God, we're having an opioid problem. But what about the crack problem that tried to wipe out half of our fucking race?
In a decade.
The crack problem didn't matter, but now that there is a coke problem that is taking the white kids that are gonna eventually shoot up the fucking schools, it's like, oh no, well now there's a problem, and now they have places where you can like where they'll give you like small doses to help you wean off. Mm-hmm. And it's like, are you trying to tell me that you are going to give this person heroin? But if I have weed in my car, I'm going to get pulled out the car and then killed?
And die?
Are you fucking kidding me?
And die.
And no, it really, what it is for me is just that like, I feel like we don't get a break. That's why we have to start the episode off with how great it is to be black and to celebrate our culture, because for those out there who are black, you know that when we don't have to interact with the white people, if you live in just a black circle, being black is fucking amazing.
It's the shit.
Being amazing. Our communities.
My biggest fear is going to sleep and waking up white. So
that shit was I would go right back to sleep. If I woke up white, I would close my eyes.
Yep. I guess I need some more rest.
It's the crack. I guess I didn't finish cooking. No, I would be fucking destroyed. Well, okay, what if you didn't wake up white? What if you woke up with, please don't cancel me, the mad cow disease? I don't know what to call it. The shit that you know what I'm talking about.
What the fuck is a mad
cow? Y'all know.
Sounds familiar.
Look at Izzy's face. It's the thing where their skin start going white. The shit that Uncle Ruckus had the backwards.
If I was transitioning into a white person.
Leprosy? Is it leprosy? I'm gonna Google it. But I didn't mean to call you guys cows. I think that what's the model? There's a model.
Harlow.
I think she's so pretty. I know a lot of people are very pretty. When I was in Miami, there was a girl, she was on a date with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was really cute. And he had it. And I was like, oh, he looks like a cute cow.
Okay, so if I woke up and I was transitioning into a white woman, I'd probably lose my mind.
Ooh, speaking of transition, did you watch Lovecraft?
Nope.
Okay, so did you watch Lovecraft? Anybody? Okay, so Lovecraft County.
I've come across it, but I haven't.
Lovecraft Country?
Just these small sisters in it. Yeah.
So in it, this girl has this potion that she gives to this black woman, and for 24 hours, she goes to sleep. First off, it's very, very dramatic and painful the way she does it. She literally has to rip the white person that's inside of her has to rip through her eyeballs, full out. It's very bloody, very gush. But nevertheless, she drinks it, and depending on how much she drinks it, she is a white woman for that day. Y'all know this bitch took this shit, but this what shows you that like back then you really just want certain things. Y'all know she took it and went to work at Bloomingdale's.
Or depending on how. Okay, so what year did it take place in?
It's I don't remember what year. Let's Google it.
It's old. Okay, because I feel like if the slaves got the opportunity to be white instead of eating chitlins, they'll eat chicken.
Chitlins goes crazy. Okay,
Like
it's in the
that's-
1950s.
Okay.
So she rips her skin and becomes this white woman, and then she gets this job, and she sees that they treat the black girl badly, but then she starts treating the black girl badly. And it's just like, but that just goes to say, if you are a black woman and you're watching this, you know that we do not get along. I don't know what it is about black women; they have a really hard time with like interacting, especially once you put a black woman in
power.
And I don't want to lose my job because I ain't quit yet, so we ain't even gonna get onto that. But what is the disease called?
I'm over this disease.
Okay, the mad cow disease. So let's say you woke up and you had 24 hours. You were going to be a white woman. What are you doing for the day?
Fuck all my black friends. I'm just kidding.
So that they can try white pussy?
No. I'm just saying that if I woke up as another woman, I would, hold my homies down.
You have her whole life. Like you because I'm going to use my credit. I'm gonna get a Tesla. Oh my God, no! I'm gonna go out and be a motherfucking thug. I'm gonna go and rob places and push black people
I didn't know what it's like to be a white woman. I wouldn't.
Okay, if you had to be white, would you want to be a white woman or a white man? Because I'd rather be a white man.
I'd rather be a white man.
I don't want to be a white woman. And then if I was a white man, I would.
I don't know what I would do. Let us know.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I was a white. Because you know what it really is? This was me trying to just give a hypothetical. We don't want to be white. There's nothing. The only person that I could be, other than who I am now, is just going to be maybe a different black girl. But I would never want to be
a white
person. No, I couldn't see myself doing that. Do you have any songs? I'm going to give you guys my book again that I gave you last time. And just because it fits into our Black History Month topic. It is Hood Feminism by Nikki Kenzo, Notes from a Woman That the Movement Forgot. So it's about how, as with everything else, black women are left out and we had to have our own movement.
So I'm not going to give you a book because I'm reading
the book. Just give them something black.
Oh, so if I'm going to give you something black, I don't really like doing anything that takes too long to do. And I got my hair braided. I got my hair braided by this girl. Her name is Hannah. Braided it on Instagram. She was such a vibe. Okay, so the last time I got my hair braided, and once something like ruins my, whole perspective or like I get PTSD from it, I'll try it again, but it might take me a while. The last time I got my hair braided, I booked like a medium knotless. It was the beginning of when they let us outside last year, and I got to the girls' station, and there was a dining room chair. And the first thing I saw when I got there was the dining room chair. And because it was a dining room chair and it's knotless braids, I made the decision to go from medium to large. Because I didn't want to sit there for that long. It was very uncomfortable. And it was to the point where I had to keep going to the bathroom, even though I didn't have to use the bathroom, because I didn't want to sit there. So Hannah braided it, did my hair. Her station is amazing. Location is amazing. Her customer service, amazing. Her entire vibe was just there. I didn't have to force my headphones on or anything like that. She was very nice.
I always can appreciate
very
that.
Accommodating. Yes.
When you're like getting your hair done or something, and you're like, I want to listen to my music, but I'm enjoying the interaction so much that I want to take my hands off.
Definitely get your hair done by Hannah. Braided it.
Since she shouted out her hairstylist, my hairstylist's Instagram is.
You just want to be just like me. Anyways, get y'all hair done by Hannah. Braided it. Y'all can see my scalp. It's real nice and toned. Look at it.
It is very, very nice.
Yeah, I've been getting the weirdest compliments. Somebody told me I have a nice scalp.
That's a strange thing to say.
That's very strange. But yeah, it was a good experience.
My hairstylist's name is Kiki the Hairstylist. She works at the Nail Farina.
You never ate Farina? Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Can I have a piece? She works at the Nail whatever salon. It's located in Brooklyn, New York. It's 709 Fulton Street. Tell her I sent you. She does my hair amazingly. And I'm going to give her this extra special shout out because my flight was 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. She started my hair. She did my hair at 12 in the morning. She did my hair at midnight.
I've watched her do Renee's hair.
Oh, she's amazing. Tell them.
And it's I don't even know. I was looking at the tools in her head.
And like, how are you making that? Because she does this with a flat iron. I don't know what it's like. She curls it and then she like lays it. She's amazing.
She's amazing.
Hands of God. Hands of God.
Oh, go get your hair done.
Definitely. Songs.
Because I've had a really weird week.
I was gonna say, because I was on vacation, I was listening to like turn up music.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm gonna give my shout out to this week? Des Dior. So for those who don't know,
Have you listened to her music?
Yeah, you haven't heard it?
No. What's the song so I can download it?
My phone is, I think I can done. Sorry. It's called "Play That Shit" or "Don't Play That Shit."
Don't Play That Shit by
Don't Play by Des Dior.
I'm listening to Time's Up by Lakia featuring City Girls because y'all time is up. That's it.
Purchases. There's a Black Lives Matter section at Forever 21. Order it online. Don't go into the store because the store's gonna give you a headache.
I'm gonna go with these Emilio Pucci sneakers I got on.
I wanted those so bad.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys can't see my shoes, but I'm definitely rocking some Emilio Pucci's that I barely wear, but they're super cute and they make me feel real girly. So
When you came in with that, I was like, you look really girly today, and it really is. Because right now you just look like you, but with the
shoes
on, it's
yeah.
kind of girly.
So those are our picks.
And for my viewers, do me a favor. This is your homework for next week's episode. Go try some fufu, and leave your opinions in the comments because Giovanni tried it. Wasn't super. She didn't hate it, but she wasn't obsessed.
Yeah.
I also feel like you have when people are eating it, they may be going into it with certain expectations of what it's going to taste like. It's a filler.
Yeah.
It's a filler.
So it's literally
essentially it's like white bread. Like, oh my God, I don't really like how it tastes. Like, it's not supposed to really taste like anything. It's just there. Read my book, listen to our music, and we will meet you back here next week. Thank you guys for listening. Happy Black History Month. Fuck the cops. And
don't stalk people on Instagram. That's my advice to y'all. Don't stalk people.
Please, with the weird shit on Instagram. Don't do it. But please do follow our Instagrams. She's Giovanni Sandra
on all platforms.
And I'm _ the real Renee. And none of my other platforms matter because I'm ghetto on them. See you guys next week. Bye.